Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll With It. I'm your host, Petra, and today I have a guest with me, Ciara. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Great. So I want to start off by asking you how you discovered me on Instagram.
Well, we both like Sabrina Carpenter, so I found you through the Sabrina Carpenter fandom.
Yeah. Okay, so my first question for you is, before you became disabled, what did you think of disabled people? Like, was your, did you even think about it, or?
I mean, if I was in their way, I'd move out of the way and ask them if they need any help. But before I got my injury, I never really thought about it. I just thought they lived a normal life just like the non-disabled people do. But now I know life for disabled people is much harder than life for people with normal abilities, and I hate that I had to learn it, but I learned it and I'm getting through it day by day.
Yeah, I think that's what most people think until they experience it for themselves or have someone who experiences it. They realize it's not as easy, like insurance and all that, not easy.
Yeah.
How old were you when you became disabled?
I was 14 years old. I turned 15 that July, but I became disabled in April of 2018. So I would turn 15 May, June, in 3 months.
Okay. How did you become disabled, if you're comfortable sharing?
I was in a really severe car accident with my grandmother. We were on the way back home from my dentist appointment when we were hit by an 18-wheeler, a Coca-Cola 18-wheeler, and she was killed on the scene, so she's no longer with us. And they said I wouldn't make it either. And if I did make it, I would never be able to walk again. I would never be able to talk again. I would never be able to be a functional human being again. But here I am.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay. It's a healing process.
Yeah.
And it's definitely hard, but we're still getting through it.
Yeah, I just could not imagine not being disabled for majority of your life and then becoming disabled. That has to be like a hard shock, because at least for me, I grew up with it, so
Yeah,
I mean, it's still hard,
I get it.
but you know,
That's all you know.
yeah. Let me. Okay, come on. Okay, so you kind of answered this question, but were you in school at the time?
I was a freshman in my 9th grade year at high school. But when the wreck happened, it happened at the end of the year. So after the wreck, I was out of school April, May, and June, July because it's summer. I turned 15 in the hospital, and then I went back to school that September.
Okay, so did your school give you any accommodations? Were they understanding, or were they
I don't
not?
think they really understood what to do because I go to school I went to school in a really small town. So nothing like this, nothing big like that ever happened. So I don't think they knew what to do. And they were really hard on me. Like they weren't giving me the support that I needed. But my mom, She's a superwoman. She went up to the school and she fought them down and was like, you need to support my daughter. After all she's been through, she deserves to be on the right track again, and you guys need to help her, please.
We love parents who are activists for their children.
We do.
Yeah. Okay, I've asked this question with every interview that I've done. If you're not comfortable answering, that's fine, but I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And there's no judgment with this at all, because we grow and learn as humans. Have you ever unknowingly participated in ableism?
Ableism's like looking at special needs people differently, right?
Yeah, or like, yeah, or like doing something that now you look back and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, you know?
I've always felt that I was like really accepting as a person. Like, if you come in with one leg, I'm still gonna treat you like you had both legs. If you come in walking with a limp, I'm still gonna treat you normally, because that's how I would want you to treat me. Even though I was normal at the time, I think people really treated me different because of my race and my skin color. So I just really understood how differently people can be treated. So I just didn't want to instill that pain onto anybody else.
That's a great answer. Just it's so interesting because ableism is something that people don't really talk about,
It's not.
or they're like no, and they're like actively doing it, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's what it is. But thank you for answering that.
You're welcome.
What is your goal in life with like your career or school, or just what do you want to do?
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what I want to do. Before my injury, I wanted to become a pediatrician. But after my injury, I know being a pediatrician, I mean, even before my injury, I knew you had to do a lot of school to be a pediatrician. But now, with all my deficits and delays, I don't know if I want to go to school for that long. So I don't really know what I want to do. I want to do something that's like bare minimum school.
And that's totally fine. I mean, nowadays, you can basically do whatever you want with the power of social media and
Kind of like you.
yeah, kind of like me. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to discuss? Pop culture, world events, etc.
Not really. My birthday's next month.
Ooh, happy early birthday. Mine's next month too.
Really? What day?
July 9th.
Oh my god, that's my day too.
That is?
I'm just
We're
kidding. My birthday's the 14th.
no. Okay. Well, we're close.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Hopefully this worked, because the last time I tried to do an interview, the audio didn't record. It was a mess.
It was just the video.
What?
The audio didn't record, but the video did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that happens again, that's okay. We'll just reschedule, and this could have been our practice run. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.